Round robin, expression, velocity layers. The world of composing for media can get quite wordy and technical, and that can be quite intimidating as a newcomer. Fret no longer though, because here is a guide explaining 5 of the phrases that you'll come across as a new composer. Before we get into it, remember to like the video, subscribe, and ding the bell to be notified when I release more videos like this on the YouTube channel. Let's start simple with the term that we use so often to describe our music, the term cue. Now, a cue is just literally a piece of music that is written for media. It could be any length, 5 seconds long or 5 minutes long. It is just one piece from beginning to end. So when I write a piece for a film, I write a cue. Here's a cue that I wrote for a film recently. So you've just bought your first sample library. Let's say it's Albion 1 from Spitfire. That's a great starting point for anyone. You navigate to strings, spiccato, and every time you press the note that you're playing, you notice a slight difference in the sound. Let's have a listen. This is what we call round robins. Put simply, it's just a variation in sample playback to create a more natural, realistic sounding recording. It can be turned on and off, and it's usually triggered automatically. You'll also find that the sound of the note is dictated by how hard you press the key on your keyboard. Let's go back to Albion 1, this time with percussion. Notice what happens when I press the key very softly and carefully, and when I hit the key as hard as I can. The playback of the sample is dictated by how hard I press the key of the keyboard, and therefore the velocity layer that's triggered. This as well is used to create a more realistic sounding instrument. So shorter sample playbacks and patches like spiccato and percussion are generally controlled by velocity. But how do we create a more realistic sound with longer patches and legato patches? That, my friend, is down to expression and dynamic controls. Here's a simple chord progression using Spitfire's wonderful chamber strings flautando patch. It sounds beautiful thanks to Spitfire's wonderful sampling, but we can inject more realism into it using expression and dynamic control, imitating how a real chamber string section would play it. Absolutely beautiful. As you can see, all of these factors come together to create a very realistic sounding orchestra, and it's continuous controller values, or CC values, that are triggering the changes in sample playback. These CC values are controlled with a MIDI controller. I use a Korg Nano Control 2 to change things such as expression and dynamics. Put simply, you assign a CC number to your knobs and faders on your MIDI controller, and by moving those knobs and faders as you play, the CC values go up and down in real time with the fluctuations being recorded in. All you really need to start programming realistic sounding instruments are 4 controls. CC1 for modulation and dynamics, CC11 controls expression, CC21 controls vibrato on Spitfire's instruments, and CC7 controls the track volume. However, if you don't have a separate MIDI controller, you are able to use the mod wheel on your MIDI keyboard to control dynamics and modulation. I'll show that here using Cine Samples Descant Horn from the Cine Brass collection. The keyboard I'm using is the Nectar, with a K, not a C, GX61. Well, that's all from me. I hope this has helped if you're just starting out as a composer. Remember as well, the QTube creates free videos for you to practice scoring to if you're just starting out. So head to theqtube.com to see our library of free unscored videos. Any more videos we make are being uploaded to our Patreon. Benefits start from as little as £1 a month, and that's all you need to see the new videos that we're making, more updated, better quality, that kind of thing. We're also making our first real 10 to 15 minute short film professionally produced by a production company that I know in partnership with us. So if you'd like to know how to get your hands on that, head to the Kickstarter link down below or check out this video. And let me know in the comments down below if you had any more questions or if you want any more advice on the more technical aspects of being a composer. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Bye bye now.